Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of my favorite trip to the movies. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all safe and healthy. Huge shout out to all the healthcare workers getting us through this difficult time. This is the show where we discuss our favorite movie theater experiences, favorite concession items, as well as kind of just the overall awesomeness of experiencing art with a group of people or audience when it's safe to do so again when COVID is over. Today's guest is one of the most awesome people to discuss movies with, an incredibly awesome person that I have the honor of seeing movies with. An individual who a few years ago orchestrated an event to surprise me with the same shield that Mr. Steve Rogers has in the Avengers movies and Captain America movies. And he is currently enlisted in the U.S. Air Force. Yanni Wang. Yanni, how's it going today?
I'm doing well, Joey. Thank you for the very warm welcome, and I'm really excited to be part of all your new projects. I'm doing all right. We're all going through some hard times right now, but I'm hoping that everything gets better soon.
Yes, agreed, Yanni. Perfectly said. So yeah, let's just we'll get right into it. So Yanni, what have been some of your favorite movie theater memories?
So one that comes to mind is I think probably my the last movie I saw before I joined the air. I think it was with you guys actually. I think we were at Elk Grove Theater, and I know it was an action movie, and for some reason, I want to say it was Dark Side of the Moon or Transformers: Dark Side of the Moon. I can't say that I loved the movie, but I think it was more of just being able to talk about it with you guys because I just remember Transformers. I feel like has always done very well in terms of action. You can't really say that part's bad. Like they've always done amazing with their CGI, their action, and it's just like, but there are some character elements that I disagreed with. But that has always really stuck with me because I think it was like one of the last times I ever saw a movie with all the buddies back home, and I consider that like I consider one of our like common things to do together was to watch movies. Besides that, a lot of other movie theaters ever since I enlisted in the Air Force haven't really stuck with me as much. I remember going to see movies at the local outlet mall in Monterey, and it's always really pretty there. But I think maybe the movies weren't good, or maybe it was just the companionship. It just wasn't quite there. Uh, I did see one movie by myself when I was stationed in San Angelo, Texas, and I actually saw Avengers Infinity War actually because I wanted to see it really badly, and I everybody either have had already seen it or didn't want to, so I was like, I gotta go off and do this on my own, I guess. Oh, what was it? What's Thanos's quote? It's I guess I have to do it myself.
Yeah. He says that at the post credits of Age of Ultron, so it's perfect. It perfectly aligns with your story.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I gotta say my last favorite movie experience is with you guys.
I'm so glad you brought up Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Like you said, like the story, the character stuff of the kind of unfortunately a lot of that series is not super great. But I even say that the third one has probably the best action of all of them. I think, especially with the Chicago stuff. Like it's just so cool seeing like, hey, we know exactly where that is where they're filming. Yeah, the third one has some like legitimately like awesome moments, like in that at the ending for sure. And I know, yeah, like you said, going with a group of friends, any movie, it could be. And I'm going to bring up a story in a minute about I think that we were both there that I definitely want to bring up. But yeah, any movie, just a group of friends, and our good friend Nick Wenzel brought this up in his video when we did this. He mentioned that he likes like walking out in the parking lot with the group of people after is like one of the best parts, and that totally like correlates with that for sure.
Yeah, no, exactly. I remember, we walk out and we're all just laughing. We're talking about our favorite moments, or we're just critiquing the movie. I think that's pretty important for our friendships. We all have different preferences and whatnot. And for me, a big thing that a big thing with Steven Spielberg when he directed the movie, he wanted to make the Transformers to make sure they had weight and their size was equivalent to like the vehicles they had. And that always struck huge with me because I've always been a fan of, when action scenes that they have weight, because sometimes some action scenes it's like it makes no sense where it's one character just lifts up a truck with one hand and you're like, how doesn't that doesn't really work out that way. But I think I totally agree. I remember sitting out there, and I think I remember Jake just laughing because he was reenacting a scene. And yeah, no, it's good memories. I love that was my favorite part. It's the talk after. That's the best part of the movie.
Exactly. That's just like it goes to how awesome it is to see movies with friends. And on your story about Avengers Infinity War, did you have it spoiled for you before you saw it? That's what I'm curious.
I think I had some sneaking suspicions, but I think each time anybody started talking about it, I would just yell at them to not spoil it for me because I was pretty into it at the time, and I was really excited. And it was a very impactful Avengers movie. Like I guess we shouldn't talk about spoilers. Maybe it's been a few years. I feel like we should. So spoilers alert, everybody. So at the end scene where everybody gets ghosted away, and I'm just sitting there alone. I think I was one of maybe four people in that theater because it was a 10 o'clock movie at night. It was maybe like 5 weeks after it came out in the theater, and it was a Wednesday night, and I'm just sitting there like and the credits hit, and I'm just sitting there like, what just happened? um, but yeah, so so it didn't get spoiled for me.
Okay. Okay, good. I was worried because I know you said some of the people you asked to go with you said they already seen it. So I was like, okay, I really hope Yanni got to go into this movie with no spoilers. Um, another thing I wanted to bring up for sure is one of my favorite memories with you is when our group of friends we went and saw Taken 3.
Oh, the
And that,
Taken series.
and that's objectively a much not as that's probably below Transformers Dark any of the that's like with there with some of the lower Transformers movies,
I
unfortunately.
it's some might say they're awful, but some might say they're works of art, especially when you have what was that, a Russian gangster in his whitey tighties on the staircase shooting a AK down, and you just see everything. I remember all of us just sitting there cracking up over that scene.
I was thinking exactly that same thing, so I'm so glad that yeah.
Yeah, that's honestly that's really the only part of the movie I really remember, which is sad.
No, but it was I remember specifically that moment, everybody like with us laughing, and that's when I was like, I have to bring up that movie with Yanni for sure. And then there's the plot lines with I remember that, and then the bagels. The bagels were like such a
Oh
big.
yeah, I was about to say with Forrest Whitaker, he was like the bagels were fresh. She wouldn't get bagels if she knew she was gonna die. Oh
Big.
man, that was a wacky movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and I think yeah, and I'm yeah, I to this day I've not seen a movie use bagels as a plot point, so I give it credit for trying that out. It took a creative direction for sure. Um, okay, and that I do. I'm going to tie in that with kind of the Austin one of the later questions. But Yanni, what is one of your favorite movie concession items?
Okay, so I'm gonna steer this in two ways, Joey.
Yes.
So I am I'm a frugal guy. I like to save my money. Uh, and movie concessions, as you might know, are incredibly expensive. But however, if I am to go in there, my favorite concessions are usually those like extreme sour gummy straws. The like I forget which brand they are, but there's like the blue and then there's a pink one. They're covered in like sugar, but like they're really sour. I love those. However, not that I'm older, I recognize that they kind of taste like plastic. If you can't see my hand, I think they taste like plastic nowadays. I still love it, but I can't get out of my mind that I might be actually eating a tire. Uh, no, I'm not saying do this. I'm not saying that I do this, but in a hypothetical world, I you know put I would have put Chipotle burritos inside my jacket pockets and brought in a pint of Ben and Jerry's ice cream. And I think that might have been the best concessions. Not that I ever done that, but I think they're very portable, and it's perfect fit, and it's I'm a big fan of eating something while doing other stuff. So I think, whatever the activity, usually food helps it a lot more since like you're watching a baseball game, you're at your friends. It's like, if they have a little bit of food, it's gonna be a lot nicer. So a good Chipotle burrito hits the spot.
Yeah, so perfectly said. Yeah, I love the Sour Patch mentioned. Those are one of those like candies that like are directly correlated with the movie theater. I think like I very rarely ever see those in a non-theater setting. I mean, I guess you can find them at the store, but I think they're just so correlated with the theater.
Yeah, I don't think anybody looks for them. It's like at the theater you see them and they're like, ooh, those sound good. Oh, I do love a good slushie though. I think that's something I get pretty consistently if I go to the movie theater. I do get slushies.
Yes, especially with the and I'm absolutely with you. If they gotta have free refills, that's like
Exactly.
it makes that like $5 cup that much more worth it.
Yeah. I
Uh,
yeah.
what were you gonna
I
say?
do sorry, Joey. I do have one. I do still have the Groot head full of pot, like where they had a special deal going on for Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I think, where they gave you Groot head full of popcorn. I
Oh,
still I still have that. I used it to hold all my coins. So
yes.
still have that.
Hey, that's a Groot way to save your coins.
A
Awesome. Yeah, and I love what's okay. Before we go to the next question, favorite Ben and Jerry's flavor.
I'm gonna have to go with American Dream or fish food. I don't. I think those are like my most. I think they might be the most memorable for me. Because I can't think of the other flavors, but I know those are specifically Ben and Jerry's. But also, Joey, I didn't ask you what your favorite concession at the movies were yourself.
Oh, that's I'm honored. I'm honored. Probably I love so if I go to AMC, I like the I get a very large cup of Mr. Pibb Zero. I
Ooh,
can drink just gallons of that. Much to how I mean I end up going to the bathroom like 3 times during the movie, but so I should probably not doing that. I should probably not do that. And then or if I'm at another theater or just ever like Mr. Pibb Zero Diet Coke. Um, I like not many movie theaters have this, and this is only like if I'm feeling really like treating myself. If they have French fries, I'll get French fries, but that's only
okay,
few occasions.
okay.
I
Are
like
you
fries.
are you a Mr. Pibb or a Dr. Pepper guy?
Ooh, that's a good question. If there was a choice at the theater, if they had both Diet Dr Pepper and Mr. Pibb Zero, I think I'd go Diet Dr Pepper, but I'll take Mr. Pibb Zero if that's the only alternative. It's
Okay,
pretty good
okay.
too.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, that's I. It's amazing how much like when I don't get that at the theater, I'm like, oh, I actually got to sit and watch the whole movie without having to go get up.
That's usually my issue too with the slushies. I'll like down the whole thing in about an hour, and I'm usually just like, oh, how long is this movie?
But then when you don't get, it, you're like, I feel like I'm missing something.
Right? It's part of the experience.
Oh, perfectly said. And then, so this final question will definitely correlate with what you said about kind of talking with your friends after the movie. Kind of when it's safe to do so again, and after COVID, what is some like what do you think is the awesomeness of kind of experiencing art and movies with other people?
Uh, yeah, no. So definitely, I'll admit I have a pretty bad habit. I like to talk through movies,
Hey, it's part of it.
and
It's fun.
and actually, now that I think about it, I do have some pretty positive movie experiences when I lived in Monterey. I used to go to this one indie theater, and I watched Phantom Thread and a
Yeah.
few other movies there. And I remember it's really nice, especially if there's like confusing scenes going on where it's like you can kind of like in hushed tones talk to your friend. It's like, I wonder what's going on. But it's definitely that experience of being able to share it with people is super important because I remember when I watched Infinity War by myself, I was like, it's an amazing movie, it's super impactful, but it like I wanted to talk to someone about it. I think after that, I called my girlfriend at that time afterwards, and I was, I wanted to talk to her about it. She didn't really care. And I was just like, no, I need to talk to someone about this. So yeah, watching with your friends definitely changed the whole experience because I think movies kind of build up a huge emotional, uh, kind of like their movies they're made to build up emotions in you. They're filmed to elicit a emotional reaction, and like if you don't have any way to outlet that, you're kind of just stuck with those feelings. So it's like, you watch a sad movie by yourself, you just start crying and you're just gonna be sad. But if you talk to someone about it, I imagine, you probably feel better because, it's a way of like catharsis.
Oh yeah, so perfectly said about the how like you just want to like talk to somebody after the movie, and that's what like I mean obviously like I mean there's much I'm very lucky that like this is like there's much worse things to be like upset about, but like that's the thing with like streaming stuff at home right now. Like I'm always like I wish I could like be seeing this right now like in a packed theater. I mean obviously it's not safe right now, but like and I'm just like going like I just want to like react with this with other people there.
No, yeah, it's part of the experience. I 100% agree with you. Seeing movies in the movie theater does it far outstrips the experience of just, watching at home on Netflix.
And I think like if I mean if we would have watched Taken 3 at home like with I mean I think we would have still had a fun time, but I think so much of that experience comes from like we couldn't do anything else, like we had to sit there and watch it, which made it so much more memorable I think too.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And hey, I'm so like hey going like going to movies by yourself though I do that all the time, so there's I love doing that too.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's just
But other people though, yeah, that's funner
yeah,
too.
yeah, exactly. It's like, Joey, we should go to movies together alone.
Yes, yes. We'll go. Yeah, we'll text that. We'll set up a Zoom, right? I guess we can't do that. That's probably illegal. But we'll set up. We can't record the movie, but we'll set up. Well, yeah, we'll do that.
All right, sounds good to me, Joey.
Well, Yanni, thank you so much, sincerely, for being on the show. Thanks for. I know you said you're on your way home too. You're somewhere else, and thanks for like setting up like a recording wherever you. I know you're. Thanks for doing this again, and do you have any well words, anything you want to promote coming up, or anything you want to say to the viewers before we close?
Overall, just everybody who's watching, I hope you're staying healthy. I hope you keep staying in tune with Joey's ongoing projects because it's always nice seeing those. And I guess I hope everybody stays healthy and everybody stay safe.
Exactly, perfectly said. And hey, I couldn't have got through this without your support for sure.
Yeah, no, thank you again for the invitation, Joey. It's always a really good time to be able to participate in this.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and have an awesome rest of your day.
Bye.